Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be doing some tapping on the belief that God doesn't want me to be wealthy. You can substitute that with any divine source that you connect to. That could be the gods, that could be a particular god or goddess, it could be the universe, even the higher self. Whatever it is that you feel is coming from without yourself, that you feel deep down in your roots that it doesn't want you to be successful, it doesn't want you to be wealthy. Before we dive into that, I'm Sandra, our author of Tapping into Abundance, using EFT tapping and the law of attraction to change your mindset and turn your life around. You can get that book from Amazon. The link is in the description field below this video. And if you want to do that shadow work, that deep dive inner work to connect with yourself, to find out what is stopping you from being able to move forward, including those beliefs about the divine, then have a look at my free video, How to Heal Your Shadow Through Balancing Your Energy Centers. The link is in the description field below this video. So today, I wanted to tap on that belief that God or the divine, the higher self, spirituality in general, doesn't want you to be wealthy or successful or any of those things. We're going to use wealth as an example because wealth is often the biggest bugbear when it comes to people who are spiritually oriented. And believe it or not, this belief, which kind of sits around in the crown chakra area, is often one of the last beliefs that we have to deal with when we come to removing those beliefs that are stopping us from doing what we want to do with our life and being who we really feel we are in this life, but we're stopping ourselves from doing it. One of the reasons why you may unconsciously believe that God or the divine doesn't want you to be wealthy or successful is because you may have beliefs about money being not spiritual, and that if you're a spiritual person or even a caring person, money is not something that you should want. It's not something that you should want to be. Wealthy is not something you should want to be. And while that may be something that you may learn within a religious tradition or a spiritual tradition, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So it's a way of asking yourself, do you believe it's true because that's what you've been told is true? Or do you believe it to be true because you feel that that is true for you? My personal experience of the divine or the universe is that it doesn't give a hoot whether you are wealthy or not. That's not the point of spirituality. It's got nothing to do with being poor. It's got nothing to do with being wealthy. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It's to do with what you're creating here on planet Earth. And you may very well need to have a lot of money to do that. You may very well be better off having some wealth, or at least having resources available to you easily so that you can create in the world. And there's no spiritual law that says you have to suffer and it has to be difficult. Another belief, and this is one that I had, was that if I was wealthy, if I had enough money even just to feel safe and secure, that I would then be lazy and I wouldn't do what I came here to do in the world. I wouldn't fulfill my purpose, because in order for me to not be lazy, I need to be struggling in some way with money. And it's that struggle with money that puts me out there and makes me do in the world. And that's such a stupid belief, really, when I looked at it, because the reason for me doing what it is that I do, both with the tapping and also with Witch School, is because I'm a creative being and I like creating. It's the creative urge that puts me out in the world. It's not that if I suddenly became a millionaire overnight that I would stop doing this. Because it's actually not the money that's the real driving factor for me being out and doing in the world. It's my creativity that puts me out there in the world. I love creating. I love creating the videos. I love creating courses. I like to create. And I also like to share. I like to share what I've learned and what I've experienced with other people so that you can take advantage of that and learn from what I've learned and experience techniques and modalities and practices that can work for you the same way they've worked for me. And that's not something that having a lot of money would necessarily stop me from doing. So that has been something I've had to work with. So it's up to you what you want to believe. You don't have to believe that the divine doesn't give a hoot whether you are wealthy or poor. You can believe that if you want to. That's totally up to you. You have the freedom of belief. The thing is that my personal experience, anyway, is that it doesn't give a hoot. It's not the one saying you can't be wealthy or you can't be successful or you can't have what it is that you want, because if you did, you wouldn't be fulfilling your purpose or you wouldn't be a good person or anything like that. So challenge those beliefs. When you're working with the chakras, a lot of these beliefs come up. And that's why I created the Wheels of Empowerment course, because that's a way of tapping on all of these beliefs at each chakra level. And the crown chakra, which we don't tend to do a lot of work on in tapping because most of the issues are actually in the lower chakras, believe it or not. But the crown chakra is the one that just holds that belief because it's the connection between you and the divine, like the initial connection, so to speak. And if there's blocks there where you believe that the divine forces don't want you to have something because to have it is in some way a problem, then you're going to stifle yourself from being able to do what it is that you want to do and have what it is that you want to have, probably to do it. So let's do some tapping now on the belief that the divine or God, I'll call it God because I know that there's a lot of people from various different spiritual backgrounds that watch this. And it's just easier sometimes just to use one word. So it could be a God or a goddess or the divine. Doesn't want me to be wealthy, but you can substitute this wealthy for success or love or whatever it is that you feel that the divine doesn't want you to have. Okay, so let's start on the karate chop point. Even though I have this belief and it feels real, the God, the divine, my higher self doesn't want me to be wealthy. Oh no. I'm okay. Even though I have this belief that God doesn't want me to have, because maybe if I did, I'd be lazy. So instead, I have to struggle. I'm going to honor how I feel. Even though I have this belief that the divine wants me to struggle, I'm okay. So now tapping on the points. I have this belief. God doesn't want me to be wealthy. I'm not allowed. Whatever I do, it's going to stop me. I can never have success. I'm not allowed. The divine doesn't want me to be successful. I might get greedy. Be a bad person. I'll get lazy. I won't do what I'm supposed to do here. I'll be selfish. So I'm not allowed. I am not allowed. And this belief feels real. It feels justified. But what if it's not true? What if it's just not true? What if it's a belief I've picked up from somewhere else? What if God's okay with me being wealthy? What if the divine doesn't really care if I'm wealthy or not? What if the divine's just waiting for me to choose? What if I can be wealthy and safe at the same time? What if the divine's okay with me being wealthy? What if God's okay with me being wealthy? What if I can be wealthy and spiritual at the same time? And take a deep breath and letting it out. So it's just gently asking yourself, well, what if I'm not right? What if I'm wrong about this? What if all the things that maybe you've been told, say in your religious or cultural upbringing, that there is something wrong with wealth? And when I'm saying wealth, wealth means different things to different people. It's not all you have to be a billionaire or something. It's your wealth is measured by the time you have money wise. So you're as wealthy as the amount of money that you have in escrow or assets that you have in escrow that you can convert into money that will see you living the lifestyle you want to live for a certain amount of time. where you don't have to be bringing in an income at the same time. So if you've got a certain amount of money and assets that could see you being able to support yourself in the manner you're accustomed to or want to be accustomed to for 12 months, then that's the measure of wealth. So it really just depends on how you see that and how much of that you want to have. So it's really about safety and security and having the resources you want to have and need to have to be able to be happy and fulfilled in life. I think of wealth as being that. It doesn't have to be something extreme if that's not what you want. But to feel that you can't even have that without having to struggle for it because you can't have that and be on purpose at the same time is not necessarily true. You know, you don't necessarily need to be in that situation of struggle in order to fulfill your purpose. So it's just giving your subconscious mind something else to think about or play with, and to give it a suggestion that perhaps the belief that you've grown up with about that isn't necessarily true. You've probably picked it up from someone, from a religion, probably, community, political ideology, all of those places where we pick up these beliefs. So enjoy tapping with that. If you want to tap one-on-one with me, so you feel that you're ready for one-on-one coaching, I do have a free clarity session that you can take advantage of. It is a 30-minute free session. There's a link to book it in the description field below this video. It's an opportunity for you to get clear about what is blocking you and stopping you from being able to do the things that you want to do. And we have half an hour to do that. So I'll be asking you lots of questions during that session, essentially. If you want to do a DIY course to tap for yourself in your own time, the Wheels of Empowerment course is there for that very reason. You can tap on each chakra for all the different beliefs about not being good enough, feeling shame, feeling guilt about the things that you like or the things that you want to do, tapping out all of those things in the Wheels of Empowerment course. The link to that is in the description field below this video as well. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra, and I'll see you on the next video.